You're listening
You're listening
to another episode
of the Fresh Takes
podcast.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of all ages, what is it up? It is Tank here as one of the co-hosts for the Fresh Takes podcast. We have not only myself, we got Pat and Tim. What's up, boys?
going on.
Hey, how we doing? Third segment. There's going to be some heads turning today, but I am ready.
19 through 24.
What happened to my camera already? I just bought this and it's not even working.
I was going to say, ladies and gentlemen, Tank gets a new camera, new microphone. So if he sounds a little different, that's why.
Well, let's see what happens. Hey, my taxes came in.
So, I mean, we could just jump right into it. But first, there's one thing that I want to say.
Go ahead.
As a Giants fan, trading for Darren Waller, I am so excited about coming next season. I think the Giants have hit the free agency very well this year.
I think you and I had talked about it. I'm sorry if I cut you off, Pat, but me and you had talked about it, Tim. One of the things that he scares me about is he is injury prone for you.
Yeah.
You know, not even just for you all, but he is injury prone. But I wish the best to him because he's coming into the NFC East where we have teams who are willing to hit when it has to be hit. And out there
the
in
biggest
Vegas,
thing that
he
I'm
wasn't.
happy about is the Giants are getting rid of their turf field.
All they are.
So we might be able to get a healthy Sterling Shepard for a full year.
We'll see. We'll see.
Pat, how you feel about Chauncey?
Well, if everyone else could get rid of turf field, that'd be great too.
Yeah.
But Chauncey, it's kind of a situation. If the reports I saw were true, they offered him a long-term deal worth about 12 to 13 that he rejected at first, and no other team offered enough. So he's doing a prove it year again for some reason. I don't know why, but
I don't know.
best of luck to him. I love Detroit. I love Dan Campbell. So hopefully he does well there.
Yeah, I think Detroit's also another team that's going to be packing their team this year.
Oh, hands down. I'm excited to see what Brandon Cooks does for the Dallas Cowboys this season.
And Gilmore.
Oh yeah, Gallimore too.
I just feel like the biggest thing with Gilmore is he's kind of getting up there in age.
He is, but I think with that happening, I think sorry, just got a notification that Joshua Dobbs is signing with the Browns.
Going back to the Browns.
Yeah, but no, I think with his age getting up there, but I think we did somewhat decent so far in the free agency.
Now, before we start our quarterback list, I have one more question for you, Pat. Penny or Sanders? Do you like that you got? Do you like that you got Penny, or would you rather have kept Miles Sanders?
I'm a huge Miles Sanders guy, but he did have some fumble issues throughout his whole tenure there. His yards per carry were awesome. I'm assuming that line helps. I'm not saying he's a bad player, but Penny's explosive when he's not hurt. So it'd be exciting to see what he can do if he stays healthy behind that line too. Slightly different line, but mostly the same.
All right, well, let's just jump right into it. Number 24 for me, because I'll start out this list. I have Ryan Tannehill. I feel like if he didn't get injured, maybe he could have got a little further up there for me. But also working with one good receiver, Robert Woods getting hurt, and how long was Burks out for? So, it was all on Derrick Henry at that point.
I don't put him down that far, but okay. I mean, I agree with what you're saying. Don't get me wrong, but I don't have him that low.
Well, I mean, as we saw last episode, you guys have some people pretty low that I don't have that low.
Yeah, this is true.
Who do you have this low then at 24, Tank?
Oh, I have Brissett.
Kobe Brissett. Wow. Okay.
Yeah. He was 236 for 369, 2,608 yards, 12 touchdowns, 6 interceptions with an 88.9 QBR. Yes, that's a decent QBR, but I you and I had talked about that, Tim. He should have started so much
Yes.
more over top of Deshaun, but at the same time, he still sucked.
Say, I think we thought the last two games that he played, beating Tampa Bay, even they shouldn't have put Watson in. I think they should have just had Watson sit the rest of the season.
Oh, I agree 100%.
Yeah, but if I'm guaranteeing someone that much money, I want them on that field.
Yeah, I can see that, but
Yeah, I get that, Pat.
I feel like the problem with Watson is what he wasn't allowed to practice with them until a week before he was returning, and you had Brissett who was practicing with them since preseason. So
So
I feel
he definitely had that, one-on-one
I would say I think Brissett
personality or
just
whatever.
was on the same pace as all of them.
Yeah.
So
Well,
all right, Pat.
All right. Well, this must be a me and Tim kind of week because Ryan Tannehill.
Look at
It
that.
is. Starting right off the top, Tim. Yeah. Same reasons, you're never afraid of just Tannehill beating you, I don't think. But on the other hand, he's not terrible, so I don't know how to judge him.
See, I think 12-5 season, Tannehill was actually very good, but he also had weapons.
Yeah.
Because I mean, Julio Jones, although he was only in for like 5 weeks, but he had AJ Brown. So yeah, Tannehill, I think, was a decent quarterback, but I don't know if he's what they need to keep. I know Malik Willis is not. I don't think Malik Willis is going to be the key to that team, the starter of that team, or nothing. I think Tannehill worrying about Malik taking his spot, he doesn't have to at this point.
Do you really want me to tell you who I think would be? I feel like a good person in that spot
As their quarterback?
Yeah.
Huh.
Hooker from Tennessee.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I really think that. I think with him, I think Tennessee would look really good.
Or they just they keep winging it and get Arch Manning.
You never know.
I'm surprised they haven't gotten rid of Derrick Henry yet.
I'm surprised nobody's bidding on Derrick Henry. So
they don't love running backs in the free agency market.
Yeah.
I mean, shoot, you got Zeke and you got Henry. Well, Henry's not.
Henry. I was saying.
I was going to say Henry's not. Yeah, he's really not free agent, but he's out there.
Yeah, he's tradable. But you got Zeke and Fournette still in the free agency.
Yeah.
So, all right, Pat, 23.
And on to 23. 23, Michael Jordan's number. And this guy could be compared to Michael Jordan, really. In really no ways at all. Derek Carr.
Derek
Carr. You got me scared. With the way you were saying, he could be, compared to Tom or to Jordan, I legit thought you were about to say Tom Brady.
Imagine Brady that low. Wow.
That's why I was like, hold up, whoa.
No, it's the guy that they chose over Brady.
There you go. I'll go with that one.
24 touchdowns, but also 14 picks to come along with it. 6-9 record. They added weapons. Devontae Adams, definitely a top 3 receiver. They added him in the offseason. We thought it was going to click. It was perfect. College teammates. And Derek Carr just did not look like he had it.
No.
Yeah, that whole receiving core was good. Mac Hollins, Hunter Renfrow, Darren Waller.
I mean, before what's his name got released? What's his name? Russ, Henry Russ, or
Oh, Henry Ruggs? He didn't get released. He went to
Ruggs?
jail.
Well, same. Well, no, he did get released after he going to jail.
Actually, was he ever actually released?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought that he kind of was just suspended from the NFL.
Nah, I'm almost pretty positive he got released.
Oh, well, I don't know.
So
I
uh,
I kind of have Derek Carr a little up there because I just thought I feel like Derek Carr slept on a little. But I mean, I also at the beginning of the year said this could be a Derek Carr MVP season.
yeah, you did. I have Carr a little farther up, but not too far up. So we'll get right into my 23 pick, and that is the Chicago Bears quarterback Justin Fields. He was 192, a 318, 2,242 yards, 17 touchdowns, 11 interceptions, QBR of an 85.2. Um, you know, him coming into Chicago, they thought that, he's their answer. And I really don't feel like he's the answer for them. I'm not saying he's a bad quarterback because he's not, but he doesn't have the weapons, I feel, that make him even better, if
I
that makes
think
any
that's what hurts
sense.
him. I think he could be a lot better if he had better weapons. Which this
Oh, I
year
do
with
too.
DJ Moore, I think he could look a lot better.
Oh, 100%. So I'm excited to see what he does this upcoming
Say, I have Fields a little more just because of putting him in with running.
season.
He's
With his running, that's why I put him up there.
His running's not bad. But Tim, you and I have always talked about it. We hate when it was what Hurts, Fields, Lamar, all
Well,
these
Lamar had a
quarterbacks who,
reason. Lamar
well,
had
but
nobody to
still,
throw to.
but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you do or don't have anybody to throw to.
And Hurts
Stop running
pissed
the
me
damn ball.
off. Hurts pissed me off because I had Miles Sanders in fantasy. And I wanted Sanders getting these rushing touchdowns, but they gave it to Hurts instead.
yeah. Hurts only stole 13 of them from him. That's
Yeah,
all.
only.
Only their
How many
team
of those 4th and 1s, 3rd and 1s did he also take from Miles Sanders?
Hey, listen, Boston Scott took a bunch of them too.
against the
Yeah,
Giants.
against the Giants. I think he had, not counting playoffs, I think he had 3 in the regular season this year against them.
I
No.
believe so.
All right. My number
So
23, since y'all got it out last week, this is where I have Russell Wilson.
okay.
I think Wilson was a decent quarterback for his team. He didn't have an offensive line around him, but I feel like when time was needed, Russ put the team on his back and he did what he had to do. Like that game against Kansas City when they kept going neck and neck and he decided, well, I got to put the team on my back, and he ran and got obliterated.
I'm not saying Russell is a bad quarterback, and if the fans ever think that I'm being biased or not biased, but being mean to people, but I don't give a shit because I'm sorry when a team goes all out and trades as much as Denver did to get a quarterback the way they did, you would expect a little bit more, be
Yeah.
able to produce a little bit more, and he wasn't able to produce what everybody thought he could do. That's why I don't feel he was as high as you put him.
See, and I don't understand why teams trade so much away because you don't know how somebody's going to be in a different altitude.
Mm-hmm.
Like if the Jets give up 2 first rounds to get Aaron Rodgers, how do you know from him playing on the West Coast all the way out to the East Coast, he's not going to be a lot worse?
Well, not only that, but I mean, think about it. Okay, so Russell Wilson being in Denver, it's in the Mile High City or whatever it's called. Like you said, the altitude and the elevation is so much higher that they say it's harder to breathe. The higher you go up. So why would you trade that much for something that you don't know if you can produce that much? If that makes you see what I'm saying?
Yeah. See, I don't get why they've spent so much for Russell Wilson, thinking that this was going to be the year that they turn everything around in just 1 year.
Who did they just signed a backup? Who did they sign again?
That I don't know.
Shit, I'll have to look that up. So
Say, for the life of me, I want to see Paxton Lynch, but that doesn't sound right.
no, I know it's not Lynch. I mean that
Former
his
Bronco
name was
great,
there.
though.
I was gonna say he was there.
I know Case Keenum went to the Texans, which I feel like he could probably start over Davis Mills.
Reunited.
Well, I mean, they're also probably going to draft a quarterback. Brock Osweiler.
Jarrett Stidham.
Oh yeah, Jared Stidham, the
That I didn't know how you say his last name, but yeah,
the
him.
Raiders legend that took over for Derek Carr.
Yeah, they just signed him.
I'm
So
surprised the Raiders didn't keep him.
I mean, they picked up Jimmy G. They think that their answer is going to be Jimmy G. And I'm not saying that Jimmy G's not, but I'm not saying Jimmy G is.
I think they draft Anthony Richardson.
I think they're going to definitely draft. So, what's your
I would say
22?
if he's available, you never know when another team might change up and take
Yeah.
that. But my number 22, former MVP, the man we're still waiting on to see about his contract, the man who should be a running back according to everybody in the NFL. I have Lamar Jackson at 22. I think even if Lamar was not hurt, he still did not have the greatest season, in my opinion. I feel like his biggest problem is he only throws to Mark Andrews, and 6-yard passes to Mark Andrews, who then can turn them into 20-yard passes. Lamar doesn't look the greatest doing something like that. I think it's more on the tight end.
Wow. I'm going to have to move some of my players around, actually, now that I look at it.
I don't know.
agree with that.
I think Pat has something to say.
I think the spirit of your brother is coming through me because I'm thoroughly offended, and I'm not even a Ravens fan.
I'm surprised he didn't just bust through the room.
Hey, what are you talking about? Ravens are my second favorite team.
He's definitely a winner. He makes that team so much better.
He does.
And
yeah, but I'm not looking at. I'm looking at his stats of the year. His stats aren't that good.
Yeah, but 17 touchdowns to 7 interceptions. Like, he's not.
Yeah, and how many fumbles did he have, though?
Not as many as someone you probably have in the top 5.
Maybe. I think if he was healthy the whole season, he could be up close to the top 10. But I don't think Lamar, in my opinion, is up there all because of, and I hate to say it because, I don't want it to tamper with my list, but I think all because of injuries. That's why he gets so low to me. Like, most of these people that I have from 15 and above, they were healthy the whole season. Yeah, some of them might have missed 3 or 4 games, but honestly, and I know the team says that it's different in the locker room, but I think Lamar just didn't want to play. I don't think he sat out because he was hurt. I think he sat out because he didn't want to play. And I get you can say that Lamar helps this team win, but I think even with Huntley in the same spot as him, Huntley was helping them win. If it wasn't for Huntley reaching over the goal line on a stupid play called by Greg Roman, I think Ravens would have won that game. So, I think, like we said throughout the whole year, Greg Roman was the problem for that team.
Oh, 100%.
I will never take a jab at Snoop Huntley. Never, ever. However, Lamar Jackson over probably 30 other quarterbacks.
I mean, if you're asking me now if I would want Lamar over half these quarterbacks, yes. But again, I'm looking off of how the plays were last year.
I understand. My list is like that too.
Like, if we do a list going into the season of where we think the quarterbacks are going to rank now that we know what teams they're on, oh, Lamar's definitely top 12. But, you know, from how he played last year, this is just where I had him put. So, all right, Tank. Hit us with it.
Well, this player played for Cleveland Browns. He then played for Carolina. And then he played for the Los Angeles Rams. I'm talking about none other than Baker Mayfield.
Wow. I don't know if I would have put Fields behind Baker.
Well,
very, very offended by that one too.
You know what else offends me? That he puts Andy Dalton at like number 32, but Baker above him.
no. I did put him at 32. I thought I put him. Wentz was at 36.
Yeah, I'm offended that you put Andy Dalton lower than Baker Mayfield.
Well, Baker Mayfield, he was 201 for 335, 2,163 yards, 10 touchdowns, 8 interceptions with an 80.4. What was Andy Dalton's? He was he had a 95.2. Okay, yeah, I see what you're all saying, but you know what? Shut your all's mouth.
I see that you all are using statistics. But...
I think Mayfield will have a better season this year, but I definitely don't. I think he had a decent season with the Rams, and I think if he would have started at the Rams, he would have had a lot better season. And I also feel that, just like what's his name, Stafford, when he went down, he had some of his key players go down, but Mayfield came in, and I feel Mayfield turned the team around and was able to help carry the team on his back and get them to look somewhat better than what Stafford was doing at the time. That's why Mayfield's there.
I know you said Mayfield's going to have a good season, but I think it's going to be Winston 2.0 on the Bucs. I think he'll be like 25 touchdowns, 25 interceptions.
Well, we'll see, because we're definitely going to do a quarterback where we think they're going to rank. So I definitely don't I put him in the top 25.
Baker for next year, I'd probably put him in the top 20.
20. Okay, I'll put him in the top 20. I could go with that.
But yeah.
What's yours, Pat?
Obviously, we'll get to that around preseason.
I'll put him in the bottom 5. But let's see. My number 22 could be possibly a top 20 if he hadn't kneeled, got a bad late call hit, and gave the Eagles their first loss, and then taunted Brandon Graham for no reason. Taylor Heineke.
Oh,
Taylor Heineke.
Yeah, the Mojo Man himself. Kid's got moxie. He's a winner. He wins. Might not be pretty. I don't like the way he plays, but that's probably because he's a division rival.
I'm saying now he's the new Atlanta Falcon.
Right.
Yeah, he is. Do you think he'll do any good down in Atlanta? That face tells me a whole lot of stuff right there.
If the Falcons get one more decent receiver, yes.
You think if they go ahead?
So yeah, I don't think the team is that great overall.
Yeah,
but I think he can do well kind of anywhere he goes in that like backup 8-win territory quarterback.
I don't know. I think maybe
100%.
If you move Cordero Patterson to receiver and you keep Algier in the back, I think because they just got Mac Hollins last night. So if you have Kyle Pitts, Drake London, Cordero Patterson, and Mac Hollins, I think he could make a receiving core out of that.
I'm going to ask you this one question real quick, and it's not really on the quarterback situation, but Cordell Patterson, is he not based as a wide receiver?
No, he's a running back.
So he is a running back.
Yes.
Okay, I thought he was.
No, I think the last 3 or 4 seasons he converted to running back because he came into the league as a receiver.
That's what I thought, and I thought he was. That's why I was thinking he was more of a wide receiver. They just use him as a running back, which I was going to ask.
Special teams guy on the Bears, but he was like their 5th string receiver. Then when he went to the Patriots, he was a receiver. But then when he came to Atlanta, he was a running back.
So this guy's just all over the place.
He's pretty much what you need him. I
So
think the best team
this
in
season
special
he'll be a
teams.
linebacker.
Safety.
I mean, shoot,
Hey,
a
he's a
water boy
playmaker.
next.
I think he's good as a special teams guy, but his first year with
Nah.
Atlanta, he was very good as a running back.
Water boy.
Okay.
All right. Well, on to 21, and how fitting a number here because this man is savage. Yeah, sorry about that.
Pat, why are you trying to act young?
Jacoby Brissett.
Oh,
Ooh.
Yeah, he's pretty much a slightly better Taylor Heineke.
Yeah.
Like
uh,
he kind of wins where he goes and plays well, and the teams love playing for him, and he can get you wins.
I think he should have started the whole season. Honestly, that's my opinion, and I will always stick with that. I mean, if you go back to listen to I don't know how many episodes into the season, me and Tim were talking about it, and 100% think Brissett needed to start and stay starting for the Browns.
I think with the whole Heineke and Brissett that you were saying, Pat, I think the biggest comparison between the two of them is if you bring them in mid-season, they're very good to help you get those wins back that you need.
Agreed.
Especially Commanders were like 1-4, and then Heineke came in and he got like 6-7 wins in a row.
Yeah, and now Brissett's out there in Washington.
Yeah, I forgot all about he went to Washington.
Yeah, he went to the Commanders, so we'll see how he does with.
I guess he's their
NFC
starter.
East. As of right now, I'm thinking he is going to be their starter.
Yeah, because I don't know what other quarterback they have.
Well, they have Sam Howell. They gave the start the last game of the season.
Yeah.
I think they like what they see out of him. I guess it'll come down to training camp, probably.
Yeah, I think Howell's very promising.
Oh, I think he has potential in the league. I just
he
don't
did
say
good against
right now.
Dallas.
Yeah.
So yeah, maybe it'll be one of those that like Howell doesn't start and then Brissett starts for a couple and then they bring Howell in.
Yeah, I can see that. So right on to my 21. I have one quick question for you guys. Is it past a bedtime for anybody?
No, I go to bed at 2 a.m. because I have a child.
Well, I'm not talking about you necessarily. I'm talking about Kyler Murray. I have Kyler Murray at 21.
You guys are real bad with your puns.
How was that a bad pun? Like he goes to they said that, he goes to bed at too early, or he stays up and plays
I was gonna say, if you would have done like a Call of Duty joke, that would have been way better, but
I mean, whatever. But no, I think Kyler Murray, he has weapons. He just doesn't know how to use them, I feel. Murray was 259 of 390, 2,368 yards, 14 touchdowns, 7 interceptions with an 87.2 QBR. And Pat, you can put your head down all you want, but it is what it is.
Hey, I had him ranked last list, so
I thought Pat put his head down because of your pun.
Oh no, I was falling asleep because you said who's sleeping.
Okay.
My bad.
All right.
So Tim, what's your 21?
I guess since Pat already said this, last week was the Tank and Pat show. I guess this week's the Tim and Pat show because I had Jacoby Brissett.
But okay, so yes, this is funny because you have already had two people go off the board at the same picks. But here's what's funny. Jacoby Brissett went off the board in this week's episode.
Yeah.
That tells you something.
Well, I know Russell Wilson has gone off the board.
Mariota has gone off the board.
Well, I was talking about for this episode.
Oh.
So, like within this episode, Russell is now completely gone.
Hmm.
Um,
Mayfield
then
has now been off the board,
yeah,
taken off.
Mayfield. If you say Tannehill, then Tannehill will end up being gone because Pat and I said him. So
We'll
yeah, we got a
see.
couple off the board this one.
We'll
But
see if he
yeah,
goes
we
up.
already said about the reasons for Brissett. I think he's a very good quarterback, and he could have been higher up if he played the whole season. But like Pat said, if you're going to pay somebody that much money, you got to utilize them.
Yeah. So
So
I mean, good on Watson for getting the money, but screw you, Cleveland, for not keeping Brissett in.
number 20, we said him earlier, and
Uh-oh.
this is how I said I have him a little higher ranked up, all because of the running. I got Justin Fields.
Okay.
I think Justin Fields is a very good quarterback. Like Tank said, I don't know if he's the answer, but I think he's a very good quarterback. And if he gets the weapons around him, I think he'll be a lot better. But with Darnell Mooney, Equiminius St. Brown,
Oh, I love that name.
I think those are the only two notable receivers he has. I mean, he's
Oh, I
got
mean, you
Cole
got
Kmet.
more. Did
Well,
you
yeah,
say
I'm
more?
talking about last year with
Oh,
him.
okay. Yeah, true, true,
Okay,
true.
now he has more. He has Chase Claypool.
Yeah.
So I
I
think
think
now
I think he'll do good.
yeah. I just think they got to beef up the offensive line a little. Who do
Big
they
Now,
offseason.
who
Big
did they
offseason they're having.
yeah, who did they get for running back?
I can't remember. I can
It
look it
was
up if
Donta
you want to.
Foreman, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
something
Yeah,
Foreman.
for me.
because they let Montgomery walk and he went to the Lions.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think they could have done a little better with a running back. Maybe they get Zeke,
Good.
but I think they could have done a little better with a running back. Unless maybe they draft Bijan Robinson in the draft.
I don't know. They're saying right now that what a lot of the things in the Dallas Cowboys chats or whatever on Facebook that I'm in, they're saying that we're looking to possibly try to either trade up to get Bijan, or we're just going to hope that he stays where we can get him.
I don't think he'll drop to your guys' pick because you guys have like picked 21 or something like
I want to say
that.
I think we're in the 20s, and
So yeah,
I don't see him dropping that
I would
far.
say
So we're going to have to trade up to
I
get
know
him.
maybe Buffalo trades up for him, and that's why they haven't gone for a running back. Trying to think of what all teams also need a running back that could potentially take him before you
Who,
guys.
what about
Atlanta,
Atlanta? What about Bucks? I mean, I know they're down there, aren't
they
they?
got Rashard White, so I don't know if they would want to move up because White has very promising looks.
I'm trying to think.
Yeah, I don't. It's hard to imagine someone jumping up that far for a running back either. Not that Bijan isn't one of the best running back prospects in the last couple of years, but
Yeah.
although I mean there is more of a run orient now, so who knows? He's a playmaker.
I don't know. I think if Dallas would move up for him, it'd be a dumb idea because you got Tony Pollard.
Yeah, but we need at least another back to. We can't run Tony in the ground like we did with Zeke.
Okay,
We
you
really
got
can't.
other people in the free agency though. I think just wasting draft capital because you probably get rid of a player, you probably get rid of multiple picks to move up. I think it'd just
I'd
be a
be
dumb
willing to
idea.
get rid of Gallup.
I don't know if I don't know if Gallup you can spare to get rid of because then you would just be down to CeeDee Lamb and Brandon Cooks because you lost Noah Brown. I think
Yeah,
Ty was only
1 year.
signed for like the last couple weeks.
Yeah, we're
So
trying. I'd like to bring Ty back, but all right, we'll get on to
I
my 20. Unless you have anything to say, Pat, because I heard you just say something.
I was just gonna say don't bring Ty back because that long conversion against the Eagles could really upset me.
Okay, you know what? Shut your mouth and let's get on the 20. All right, so we this player came from the Raiders. Derek Carr.
wow. Okay.
He's
Okay.
at my 20. Pretty much what Pat had said is why I put him. I mean, I have him a little higher than where Pat put him, but I think that, it is what it is. And again, Pat said what I needed him to say. And
Yeah.
I got you covered. I don't want you to use your new mic too much, so I
yeah,
figured I'd
please
do
don't.
it.
Appreciate it. Actually, it's not even mine. It's my son's. It's from his Xbox.
All right, then. All right, Pat. Number 20.
All right, on to number 20. Let me just get in a little close here because this guy's an alien. Also, there's something supernatural happening because it's Justin Fields, Tim.
Oh my God. You know what? I'm done. I'm done. Y'all take over the
The
rest of the
Tim
league.
Patrick show.
1,143 rushing yards, and 8 rushing touchdowns. His quarterback play has gone up steadily. He improved vastly. He will continue to improve again. I foresee him finishing top 15 next year. So,
Oh, 100%.
So
Yeah.
I just looked back into it, guys. I'm sorry to hate. You all have had 3 quarterbacks the same. Last week we only had 2, Pat. Yeah, we said Mac Jones, but you had him at 29, I had him at 28. Yeah, we said it, but you all have had 3 quarterbacks same spot. So you know
Spot
what?
on.
Tim and Pat take over the rest of I'll just send you my picks.
Well, congrats, Tim. I feel like this is an honor.
Hey, just wait till 1 through 5. Maybe we'll get all 5 together.
Hey, you never know.
No, I do know. We don't. We don't.
So Fields is now off the
Yep, Justin Fields is now out.
All
so
right.
who's your 19 there, Pat?
Yeah, nothing to it but to do it. So for Fields, the note I have beside him was his rushing yards. The note I have beside this man is plays for a terrible team. It's Dak Prescott.
They're just literally. I just smacked my table. Damn it! I can't even get it straight now. Really, you have him that low?
Wow.
Pat, seriously?
Here's the reason. Look at that interception column.
I
Yeah.
get that.
And
He-
what? He had 2 games missed? Not even 2.
Yeah, there
He had
was
4.
so many times he shot his own team in the foot. Like it's a pretty solid team overall. And
Yeah.
then definitely that Jags game. That was a throwaway for sure.
But that
And-
last interception, I don't blame Dak for.
Well, you can't blame, but you blamed Kenny Pickett for all 3 of his first ones.
Okay.
He does have a point.
Okay,
You-
well, Kenny Pickett's receiver didn't catch the ball and have it ripped out of his hand and thrown into the other player.
Fair enough.
I mean, he also does. Why is my brand new camera not working all of a sudden? Like, what the fuck? I mean,
It's like
freak.
that-
Sorry,
it's
I
like
didn't mean to
that.
say that.
It's like Dak's arm tank. Doesn't work all the time.
Oh, shut your mouth.
I think the biggest thing with this, Dak missed 4 games. If he didn't miss those 4 games, I think the interception rate would have went up.
Shut up.
Especially because he
Probably.
missed the game against against the Eagles. So he definitely probably would have had way more.
Pat, like, I knew you were a Dallas Cowboys hater. I knew that. But I didn't know you were that bad of a.
Look, I don't hate
Yeah.
the pick, but I do have Dak a little further up.
I do too.
I'm very subtle in my hatred for the Cowboys. In fact, 2 years ago, when me and Bryce made our preseason quarterback rankings, I had Dak ranked top 5, and Bryce thought I was crazy. However, last year he did not look stellar.
I think last year Bryce and I did it, and I think we both put him around 12.
I'd put him in the top 15.
I think,
And that's my own quarterback on my team that I like.
yeah, I don't know. I
think I have
see. I
top
see your
15.
reasoning for Dak.
Yeah.
I do. All right,
So,
Tank. 19.
19. Well, let's go ahead and let's see. Another quarterback will be swiped off the board. He is now the new quarterback for your other favorite team there, Tim Gossert, the Atlanta Falcons. We got Taylor Heineke.
Oh, Heineke.
Yeah. You know, his last name reminds me of a Heineken.
Yeah, that's what a lot of people were saying.
So I think I need a good drink. Actually, I can't drink because of my surgery. But you know what? He deserves to be where he is. I have him in the top 20 at least. I think he can do good in this upcoming season. And like Pat said, he is that quarterback that you can rely on if you need those couple wins late in the season, or even if in the middle of the season your quarterback gets hurt, goes down with turf toe or something that's out of a couple of games, you have Heineke where he can come in and play for you. So I think Heineke is a good quarterback. He's just good as a backup, not a starter.
I like I said earlier, I think Heineke's a good middle season quarterback. Like, I don't think you want to start with him. I don't think you want to end with him. But when you need a couple wins in the middle of the season, it's time to put him in.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I ranked Heineke pretty low, so I can't.
Yeah,
really
you
say
had
anything,
him
but,
at 29.
So, but all right, rounding it out for my list, I got Kyler Murray.
Kyler Murray.
And again, it's the whole injury thing. I think if he didn't get injured at the end of the season with the Patriots game, I think he could have been a lot better than what he was. And I mean, my point of view from this, I had him in fantasy, so I know how well he actually did for me.
Did you have him when we played the first game?
What do you mean?
Not when we played the first time when I beat you.
No, because
I know
remember, I traded for him.
I couldn't remember. That's what I'm saying. I couldn't remember if you had him at the beginning of the season when we
No,
first played.
I think that's when I didn't have Dak in. I think I had Stafford in.
Because I remember I like obliterated you by like 30, 40 points, didn't I?
Well, it was.
I mean, I didn't score
like
a lot of
45
points,
to 88.
yeah, but still, I obliterated you by 30, 40 points.
Yeah, because all of my players got like 6 points.
But I couldn't remember.
Yeah, I think I had Stafford in at that point. Maybe I had Derek Carr.
Maybe you had Watson.
I know I didn't have Kyler Murray yet. I think I didn't get Murray till like week 5 or 6.
Okay. You could have had Watson in.
But with Murray helped me out a good bit throughout the season. And then when Murray went down is when I traded for Kirk Cousins.
Have I said his name? No, I haven't.
But all right, that's our 19 through 24.
That's actually not a bad list that we had. Murray's now off the board. Let's see, Mayfield's off the board now.
And we're halfway through this.
So I mean, we got some players that are now off the board.
Yeah, we're halfway through now. We only got 18 through number 1 left.
I'm gonna have to switch one of my picks. Honestly, my number 12. I can't tell you who it is, but my number 12, I have to change him.
Well, now that we're halfway through, how are we thinking? Whose list do we think is the worst so far?
Yours.
Say who's got
Actually,
the most
no, it's not yours.
stuff
It's Pat.
right now?
It is Pat.
You only say Pat just because of Dak.
Yeah, of course. Dak should have been up there in the top 15, even with he had. I'm sorry,
Pat. Maybe next segment, maybe top 18, but I would not have put him in the top.
Okay, so our next segment's what? 14 through 18?
Yeah,
13 through 18. So, I mean, even if you put him in the top 15, he could have been 13, 14, or 15. That's what I think he belongs, Pat. So, you know what? Go ahead and pull your face closer to the screen because you know what? I like to.
Hey, I'm looking at my 13, 14, and 15 ranked, and there's not a chance I would put Dak above
them. Look, I'm not going to say anything.
You need glasses. Oh, you already got glasses. You need to go get your prescription fixed. that on TikTok.
I won't say anything about mine. But I think halfway through, I think Pat probably has the best list because he's already gotten same as me on some, same as you on some. So
Oh,
I'm pretty consistent with you guys.
yeah, you're pretty constipated, all right.
I am. I'm crap.
I just there's some that I don't really agree with on Pat's.
And there's a lot you don't agree on with mine. I know. Go
No,
ahead, say it.
yours. There's been about 2 or 3 that I've really questioned. And
What's your biggest one that you question the most?
Andy Dalton.
Get the
Yeah,
fuck out of here.
I think Andy Dalton being in the bottom 5, that's what I question the most out of yours.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he's not even off my list board yet. So,
He's not off mine either.
Yeah.
That's the only one I really question is the Andy Dalton one. I don't know about putting Baker Mayfield that far up either, especially above Fields. So that's one I question.
Oh, there's going to be a pretty bad one in my next segment. So I'm just warning you guys.
Well, I know that you still have Kenny Pickett available, so.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
But I mean, I already guessed where he was at.
That's true. That's true. I'm not changing.
I don't know if there's really any that Pat has said that I've really raised a hair. I mean, next episode there will be when he says Pickett, but
Right.
I know that of mine.
I have
you
Tannehill
guys,
a lot higher than y'all have Tannehill, so that's another one I'm guessing myself now.
I know that probably my biggest controversial one you guys will say is Davis Mills.
Oh gosh, yeah.
Yeah, because you have him at
He's at like
26.
Yeah.
And I had Davis Mills at 34, and Pat had him at 35.
Yeah, so I think that one's probably the biggest controversy on my end.
Well, we'll see how far. Like I said, I got to change my number 12. He's gonna get dropped to a little lower.
You gotta stick with your list. Y'all bullied me for changing mine.
No, I can't. Now that I look into it, I don't know what I was thinking about putting him at number 12 anyways.
Pat, you bullied him into moving Dak.
No. Dak is not getting moved. I promise you that. When we talk about this next week's episode, because he's going to go from 12 into the next week's episodes, I'll tell you where.
I already know who you're talking about.
Who am I talking about?
You said it earlier whenever I talked about him.
What's that?
Well, I don't want to spoil for the next episode.
You just text it to me then.
Okay, I will. But I'd say you already said it earlier when I was mentioning him.
Well, let's see if the fans caught that.
Well, here, let me just text you right now and see what you say.
Hey, Pat, can you do the Jeopardy theme?
Well, I just sent you the text.
I know, I'm waiting for it. Yes, you're correct.
Told you. You already said it.
All right, well, we'll see if the fans called it.
Well, I'm sure they'll listen to this part and go back.
Yeah, right.
but all right. Ladies and gentlemen, we thank you for listening to this week's episode of the Fresh Takes podcast, numbers 24 through 19 of our quarterback tier list ranking. Pat and I were on a very big wavelength this episode. Maybe next episode Tank and I will get it. You had Tank and Pat last week, me and Pat this week. Maybe Tank and I will be next week.
That's my middle finger. I mean, it's really not. It's my ring finger, but I'm just saying it's.
But we thank you guys for listening. We hope to hear from you guys down below on what you think of our list and who has the best one so far. And we can't wait to see you guys next week. I am Tim, and I am signing off.
Well, this is Tank, and I'm going to get ready to sign off. But I just want to say the Bills just signed Patriots running back Damian Harris.
Wow. Okay.
So,
that's not a bad pick.
No, but this is Tank. I'm signing off. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and don't forget we just hit the YouTube brand. So don't forget to hit that little notification button. I don't know what it looks like. It has a bell in it, but hit that button so you know when we post our videos. And again, my name is Tank, and you're listening to Fresh Takes Podcast.
This is Pat, the man with the hat. And don't you have anything to say about that? Signing off,
shit.
Fresh Take, that's all I got. Great
You
week.
got to come up with a better rhyme.
Dak sucks. Well, when.
Ugh.
Good night, boys. Good night.
Good night, everybody.
Later.